Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Sunday the 12th of September. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks, bearish start to the day. Going to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 45,282 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 45,815. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Bitcoin to break out from 45,500 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 45,990 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Bitcoin target 47,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 46,522. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 44,575 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should avoid sub-44s. Second major support level at 44,042 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, we have a widening of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day. That's coming off the back of yesterday's late pullback and this morning's losses. On the EMAs, that is a bearish signal as well, with the 50 pulling back from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further downside ahead. So key would be to move through the pivot at 45,282 and back through to 45,500 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Across to Ethereum against US dollar, also bearish start. Going to need to see Ethereum move back through the pivot at 3272 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 3344 and the 23.6% fib at 3369. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Ethereum to break back through to 3,300 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect the first major resistance level and 23.6% fib to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ethereum target 3,500 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 3,422. Failure to move back through the pivot will bring the first major support level 3,195 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should continue to avoid sub 3,000 levels. Second major support level at 3,123 should limit the downside. On the MACDs, similar trend, widening of the bearish histogram at the turn of the day after yesterday's late bearish cross. That's coming off the back of this pullback. On the EMAs, that's also a bearish signal with the 50 pulling back from the 100 and the 200. That's suggesting further downside ahead. So key would be to move back through the pivot at 3272 and move back through to 3,300 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Across the Litecoin against the US dollar, also bearish start. Going to need to see Litecoin move back through the 23.6% fib at 178 and the pivot at 179 to bring the first major resistance level at 185 into play. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Litecoin to break back through to 180s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 186.06 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Litecoin target 195s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 192. Failure to move back through the 23.6% fib and pivot will bring the first major support level at 173 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid sub 170s. Second major support level sits at 167. Looking at the MACDs, marks widening of the bearish histograms through the turn of the day after yesterday's late bearish cross. That's a bearish signal. On the EMAs, also bearish with the 50 beginning to pull back from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further downside ahead. So key would be to move back through the 23.6% fib at 178 and the pivot at 179 to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against US dollar, also a bearish start. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move back through the 38.2% fib at 1.0659 and through the pivot at 1.0808 to bring the first major resistance level at 1.1099 into play. Support is going to be needed for Ripple's XRP to move back through to 1.1s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level in yesterday's high at 1.11292 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, should see Ripple's XRP target 1.15s before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1.1421. Failure to move back through the 38.2% fib and the pivot will bring the first major support level 1.0487 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid the second major support level at 1.0195 and sub 1.0 levels. Looking at the MACDs, a slight widening of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day after yesterday's late bearish cross. So keep an eye out for a further widening there that would put further pressure on Ripple's XRP. On the EMAs, bearish signal, 50 EMA pulling back marginally from the 100 and the 200, so that's suggesting further downside ahead. So key would be to move back through the pivot at 1.0808 and through to 1.1 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will be in play.